Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you once again to the Lenny Robbins YouTube channel. Know your politics. Let's come together to create a better understanding by watching what our politicians do and say so we can put ourselves in a better position, as I've always articulated, to better watch what they do. I want to use this opportunity to, just say, give my analysis on a video that I listened to on YouTube from the Jamaica Politics Uncovered. It's about the Northwestern St. Catherine constituency. And some PMP, Hugh Graham, who is now the sitting MP, Damon Crawford is also vying for that seat. There's, it's up in the air whether or not Graham will be around to contest. Crawford is trying to, fit himself into that shoe. And also on the other side is the JLP person, Newton Amos. Now, Newton, I know you've been over there from 2016, sometime around then, if not before, where you came to some prominence, announced prominence in 2016, as far as I can recall. I want to take you back to some, because I know you from your policing days. You might not remember me, you might not know me. Well, like I said, you might not remember me. And if you don't remember me, then you didn't know me. But I want to take you back to Old Harbour. I remember clearly one Friday I walked into the Old Harbour police station. And you were coming from around the back. I don't know if you're coming from the bar or from the living quarters. But where you come right through the center, that's like a space in this in the station at the time. I think the detective office was somewhere to the side there, and then on the other side you have the station guard office and the army, and where they store them little things. Alright. I remember walking into the station one Friday, and you and I met somewhere in the middle there. Without knowing who I am, without even asking who I am, your very first response to me, what are you doing in the station? Who are you? Get out. Now, Amos, the very thing that tells me that you're not a man of any humility, you're not a man, you know no humbleness. And most of all, you signal to me that the world revolves around you. All things revolve around you. And from other reports I've gotten from other people along the line, you're just that kind of person. You think everybody is beneath you. And what I'm worried about you in the constituency of Northwestern St. Catherine, may I say this before I even go into what is worrying me about you? I have laid roots in that constituency, sir. I have laid some roots in that constituency. And I want to use this opportunity to invite you to the Lenny Robbins YouTube channel. Know your politics. Let's come together to create a better understanding by watching what politicians do and say, so we can better able to watch what they do or what they don't do. Because at times what they don't do is far worse than what they do. I'm saying all of that, Mr. Amos, because I want you to understand that I will be watching everything you do in that constituency. I'm not from the area like you, but I've laid roots in that area, that constituency. Having said that, sir, I just want to point out the fact, because let me go back and say also that I must wish you all the best in the upcoming general election. I'm not here for PMP nor JLP. And I'm not speaking to you as a politician, because I don't think you are a politician. I don't know that side. You may be, but I don't know that side. So I don't think you're a politician. Opinionated, I don't think you're a politician by any stretch of the imagination. But if the Jalapa party thinks you are and they want to put you up front as their representative for the constituents and they think you can take it home, that's fine. If you win, congratulations, sir. Whatever happens, congratulations even if you lose. Because, in all honesty, in that video, as you mentioned, Bobby Pickersgill, and I'm saying this because I'm coming right back to you in the long run. What my concern and worry will be about you. So let me lay the foundation for that. When we had that first meeting in Old Harbour back in the 70s, somewhere 70s or early 80s, I remember not so good as yours. And I remember your arrogance. At the same time, the same day you met me, I was coming from a gun court case where Bobby Pickersgill represented the PNP gunman. Because Bobby Pickersgill at the time was the PNP criminal lawyer for all of the gunmen that get charged and go gun court. Because remember, when the law was introduced by the PNP, this gun court law, anybody charged with gun, I go gun court. Yes, everybody went, most of them went to the gun court. But most of those who walk were all PNP. So I knew back then and I couldn't run my mouth about it back then. You understand? I didn't run up my mouth about it, but I knew back then. But this gun court thing was a sham. It was all a sham. And they had to get rid of it because it wasn't really fulfilling the mandate that they announced, the big announcements they made about it. So the same day I ran into you, the same day I'm coming from a case with Bobby Pickersgill in the gun court. I won't call any name except for one man because he's dead already. So him can't contest from me, I say. Ryan McGann. PNP stalwart from out of East Rural St. Andrew. But a group of boys out there named the Black Unity. Yeah. Two of his boys in court, gun court. Bobby Pickersgill was the representative. The same day I left gun court, came to Old Harbour. Went in the station and you asking who I am. Get out. And here you are in a constituency that I've planted roots now in the past 6 years. I've planted some roots in that constituency. Here you are now with an elevated chance. As a matter of fact, here are you now. Speaking about Bobby Pickersgill on one hand, and in truth and in fact you're speaking the truth, Pickersgill did nothing for the era. So too you, Graham, did nothing for the era. The council now for Lindsay is my friend. I don't know what he's doing, but he's my friend. You understand? Somebody that I know very well. But I know he's a people person. I know he has that skill. Very humble people person. Very friendly guy. I know that. So here you are, chiding the PNP, right back from Bobby Pickersgill up to the sitting MP, to compare now to your elevated chance of becoming the MP and what you can do. Plus, I've quietly laid roots in the constituency, sir. And I want to get back to this ignorance on your part. Arrogance, not ignorance. Sorry about the word. Arrogance. Over the years, I've seen a lot of people like you, Amos, arrogant as hell, who thinks everything revolves around them. And if they don't know you, you are nobody. You must know who they are. They don't need to know. But I don't need to know who you are. Because I am Newton Amos. And I've seen a lot of your kind. And I can say this loud and clear. When power is given and given to people like you, or placed upon the heads of people like you, when people like you get into position of power, it's not chaos, buddy. It's a ticking time bomb. Your situation becomes a ticking time bomb, just waiting to explode. A destructive TNT nuclear bomb waiting to explode. When power is given to people like you who knows no humility, no humbleness, who have possess the arrogance to think the world and everything revolves around you. Like I said, I haven't seen you for quite some time. I haven't spoken to you in quite a long time, because I think from that Wolaba incident, I don't think I've spoken to you again. I've seen you in other places where I'm there, but I didn't even look at your body. You understand? I'm saying all of this, sir, because through the video I listen you speak about everything and all things. And one of the very things that tell me, coming out of that video, that tells me that you're not a change man. Because people don't know you like I know you. But something in that video tells me you're not a change man. When you boast about reducing Bobby Pickersgill's 3,000 margin of victory over the years to something like $100,000 or just over $1,000, when you made that difference, when the JLP didn't support you, the PMP didn't believe you could, nobody believed you could, but you did it. Now you answer this question. Did you really do it alone? Tell the voters who voted for you that they didn't do it. They didn't help you. They are not the ones who did it. Why don't you tell them? Because that's what you're actually saying. You did it. This is where the arrogance comes again and surface for me. I did it. I alone did it. So I'm sure if you become the MP, your very first speech may be, I did this. Not even thank you to the voters of Linstead. But should you become the PMP, the MP for that era, sir? Well, I'm really not here for PMP nor JLP, because none of the parties can take Jamaica to where it should be by themselves. None of them have the wherewithal, the understanding, or the expertise to do that. But I'm hoping, sir, that should you become the MP for Linstead, as you promised in the video, you're going to look at water, light, road, and jobs. Now, I have no understanding of what you're talking about. Honestly, I really don't. So I don't know those promises, those four things make sense to. Sits well with. I don't know who, but for me, I don't know what you're talking about. Because I don't know how you're going to improve job employment in Linstead. I don't know. Because number one, for you to increase job employment in Linstead is going to take a whole lot of development, buddy. You and I both know that. And the common sense man on the ground in Linstead knows it's going to take a whole lot of development. Because as it is right now, they're inside of the town of Linstead. It's a commercial district. People getting just minimum wage salary. Minimum wage. Every time I go to a place to buy something, I have to tip a man a 2,000 or 3,000 to buy a lunch and buy a drinks. Minimum wage. So I don't know what kind of job employment you're talking about. Maybe you have plans to send people to Ochios or to Spanish Town or Portmore or Kingston or Wolaba or Maypen. And Wolaba is also not a buoyant place of employment. So I don't know what kind of job you're talking about in reality. You talk about roads. I'm sure you must be referring to vehicular roads, because it couldn't be a donkey cart road or a bicycle track or a walkway road or things like that. It has to be vehicular roads. And which roads are we talking about in your constituency you're going to fix? Which roads you're talking about? Because those roads have been there from the very same man you talk about in a Bobby Pickersgill, that Jamaica will be pothole free by 2003. You understand? Every party comes, every cycle comes, they go through the motion of filling the potholes with some sand. or mall, and as the rain fall, everything washed away. So I don't know how you're gonna get fix this. I say I don't know how you're gonna do it. So I don't know how you're gonna solve the problem: the road, lights, water, and job. Because I've said it before, Amos. Whichever government formed, whichever party formed the next government after the general election is over, will have a difficult time governing the country. And it's not because they might not have ideas what to do or how to do it, but they won't have the resources to do it. They won't have it. So they're going to end up in a situation where they're going to find themselves this or that. Not in a position where we can do it all. Or we can do most of what we want to do. It's going to be difficult, Amos. So the feel-good story about light, water, road, jobs and all them something that you're talking about, and those are just feel-good story, boss. And smokescreen argument for the people. But I'd like you to win your seat because I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, I've laid down roots in that community for the past 6 years. And honestly, here's what's going to happen. Again, I'm going to use this opportunity to welcome you to the Lenny Robbins YouTube show. Watch what they do. Know your politics. Let's come together to create a better understanding for each other. Watch and listen to what politicians say so we can watch what you guys do. I'm saying that again, sir, because I'm going to make sure I've listened to your promises and I'm going to hold you to your promises. But I'm the kind of man going to make sure that you're under what is called a microscopic and a telescopic observation throughout your performance if you become the MP, if you win the seat and become. So you better be prepared to deliver what you promise. Because I don't care about PNP or JLP. I have no favoritism with none. I'm convinced that no one party, whether PNP or JLP, can do this by themselves. The only way Jamaica is going to succeed is through what is called a coalition of parties, but not one single party. I'm convinced of that. But if you see this video or someone tells you about this video, Amos, just remember, Lenny Robbins is going to hold you to your promise. Going to hold you to your promise. And I hope this is not a promise. One of the promises your leader made in 2017 are similar to the promise he made in 2017. Where he stated that Jamaica will become a first world country by 2030. Only to admit, last year, a couple of months ago, sorry, that it's not possible. Which leads me to question myself and wonder, and what criteria did he make that decision? What are the determinants that caused him to say Jamaica is going to become a first world country by 2030? And in 2024, he said, no, it's not possible anymore. What it means, Amos, the clear implication to all of that promises you guys are making, what it means is none of you can predict what's going to happen in the next 6 months. Nobody has a clear path for the next 6 months. So when you're making promises to people, make sure that you have your resources, you have your source behind you to support your promise. Because people are not taking politics lying down anymore. No, it's not going to happen, buddy. Just like how I won't take my few years, I won't take my eyes off a project that was broken in Content District out by Damid, I understand, in 2024 March. Under this very government, your leader, under the JLP government headed by Andrew Holness, the ground was breaking for the construction of a water treatment plant that is intended to serve over 600,000 Water Commission customers. I think that project cost somewhere about $22 billion, and they say that money came at a time when interest rate was high. They didn't come out to say openly we borrowed the money, it's a loan. No. It came at a time when interest rate is high. So we knew all of the fancy talk. Basically means that you got to borrow money from somewhere. Project is to be completed in 2 years. We have gone a year already and I haven't heard anything about it. I've said in earlier videos, I'm going to make sure, find that plant myself. I've never seen it personally. But I'm going to try and find it and get an idea as to where the plant is. Is it on track? Is it on budget? And what is happening with it? I want to take this opportunity, Amos, to wish you all the best contesting the general election. And whether it is Damian Crawford or you, Graham, on the PNP side, whichever one can, I want to wish you guys all the best. But honestly, I hope you guys will recognize that representing your party, yeah, that's great, because you're going to get your salary one way or the other. But the promises you're making is not going to be easily made. It's not going to be easily achieved. It will not. So don't make a fool of yourselves, because that's all politics does. Promise. Promise. Now, Newton, I can only say I hope you're a changed man. You now know what it is to be humble yourself, or you now know what humility is all about, and now recognize that everything doesn't revolve around you. Not because you think you're in a bigger position than me. You're better than me. You're not. And don't think because the man is a street cleaner and you're the MP, you're better than him. You can't be better than the man who sweep the street, I should say. Because it's the very same man you depend on to vote for you next year and the year after. Like I said, brother, the PNP did nothing with Linstead. Bobby Pickersgill, Hugh Graham, nothing. Over in Treadway, a man named Rose, stupid as duck, at that 10 penny nail. Even if I'm asleep, I could have been a better counsel than that man. But I'm just the representative politician. I'm not like that. I'm not that in that mindset. I'm not into representational politics. I like to observe politics and call out people, make common sense of what is happening around us, so the common man can get an understanding of what is happening, what is not happening, or why things are happening, why things are not happening, where political allegiance lies, where politicians' priority lies, and what politicians do and what they don't do. That's my fancy. My fancy is not to be in any representational politics. Because once you get in that, man, you become a liar. You become dishonest. You become a deceptionist. You become a deceiver. You understand? Because you have to master those games. So I just want to use the opportunity to bless you on the JLP side and bless all those on the PNP side for the upcoming general election. And voter turnout speak for themselves, because you can't stop people from voting. They're going to vote. So whichever one of you guys win the election and become the MP, absolutely awesome. I'm not here to tear down anyone particular, neither you, Amos, nor the JLP, but nor the PNP representative. But I just like to speak things that I see it and speak things factually from where I'm standing or where I'm sitting. That's who I am. So again, all the best to you people, because whichever one win, I'll be watching you. Microscopically, telescopically. You'll be under the guns. So that's when I leave my blessing with you guys. And Jamaica, please, whenever time the card election, turn out and vote. And you must shed the arrogance. I'm going to shed the arrogance, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, let me use this opportunity once again to say welcome to the Lenny Robbins YouTube channel. It's a pleasure once again to share my common thoughts with Jamaican. And like I said, I'm not really getting into the meat of the politics yet. I think probably after this election, I'll be starting calling up a few people and trying to talk to a few people. A man took me a bet a couple of days ago, said Michael Phillips down at Manchester is going to win his constituency. I doubled the bet on him and said Phillips is going to lose. So let us see what happens. That's the only thing I put my neck out. I'm really not a betting man, but since I made mention of it in an earlier video, he called me up to take a bet. So I doubled the bet with him. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Lenny Robbins, over and out. Bless up Jamaica, blessed love one another.